Hey, BR Tidwell 55 here. In a previous video, I talked about how configurable the Gnome desktop environment is. Uh, and if you're like me, you're not a person, I don't like a lot of clutter on my desktop. That's just from a aesthetic viewpoint. But from a functional viewpoint, I like to have pretty much one-click access to the stuff I use most often. That's one reason why I like the Avant Window Navigator dock, because it gives me that one-click access to the applications I use most often. One thing that Avant Window Navigator is not good at, though, is giving me one-click access to the places, different folders and directories that I go to most often. Now, there are a couple of options that try to get you there. One of them is this Places applet, but you click on that and then you click on the folder you want to go to. Well, okay, sorry, that's two-click access. Doesn't work for me. There's also a Stacks applet, but I really don't like the aesthetics of the Stacks applet. So you might say, well, something's got to give. You got to sacrifice something. You can put some shortcuts to the different folders you use most often on your desktop. Well, no, you don't really have to, because I have found what I think is a fairly elegant solution. Now, what Gnome does is two key components of Gnome in a default installation, say Ubuntu. It's going to give you two panels. It's going to give you a top panel and it'll give you a panel here at the bottom. Now, obviously, I have deleted the bottom panel. I don't use it because that's where my Avant Window Navigator sits. But you can create panels and put them anywhere. And what I have done is I've created another panel and I put it over here on the left-hand side. And then basically I've put shortcuts to three folders or directories that I use most often, along with some custom icons I made using the GIMP. Now, it's fairly easy to do this. You want to add another panel, go to an existing panel and click Add a Panel. So I click Add to Panel. Click New Panel. Now what this has done is it's put a new panel on the bottom of my desk. Now I can right click on that panel and go to Properties, and I can move this left, right. Of course, if I go to the right, it's going to go off the recording area because it's going to go onto my other screen. But you get the idea. You can put it anywhere you want, and then you can size it. What this does is that the pixels controls the width of it, but you can size it. You just turn off the expand, and what that'll do is instead of filling up the entire width or length of your screen, whichever dimension you're using, it'll only accept the size of whatever shortcuts or icons you're putting there. So I don't need that thing at the bottom of my screen, so I'm going to get rid of it. But anyway, I found what I think is a pretty elegant solution. Gives me one-click access to the folders I use most often. Keeps my desktop free of clutter, and it just works for me. So this is BR Tidwell 55. Thanks for watching.